Cancer. Welcome back to the Astrology 3030 channel. This is your August 2021 love reading. Thanks to those of you who have liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. And for those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, it's what I call the Bridging the Gap spread. And the way it works is we'll actually look at the past energies, present energies, and future energies between you and your main love interest. Once we're done with all that, we'll actually pull some oracle cards for some additional insight. That's where the Bridging the Gap dynamic comes into play. As far as the decks being used, on the left side we have the Lover's Path Tarot, on the right side we have the Tarot Sexual Magic. And keep in mind, I'm going to be referring to the cards on the left as your energy and the cards on the right as the other person's, but if you feel like it's the other way around in your situation, then definitely trust that. Alright, so with all that out of the way, we'll get started. Past energy on your side, we have Oppression, so this is the equivalent of the Tower. Now, this can say that some of you might have actually caused an ending within the connection. If that's the case, looks like there's a lot of, obviously, stormy waters in the background, right? So it could just be saying that there were a lot of unexpressed emotions. If we look at her facial expression, she definitely doesn't look too happy, right? So could have just been one of those things where for whatever reason you didn't feel like expressing your emotions to this person. Or for some of you, this could even just be saying if it wasn't flat out a situation with them, it could just be saying that in the past when you guys initially crossed paths, you might have still been going through something a bit heavy and maybe you weren't able to give energy to the connection at that time for that reason. Alright, past energy on their side, we have the Three of Swords, which is Libra energy, and the Emperor, which is Aries energy. So, Three of Swords is definitely an energy of heartbreak and disappointment as well. Maybe not to the level of the Tower card, right? But still up there. And to see that with the Emperor underneath it, I feel like this is saying in a way you guys were both going through a painful situation. I'm more inclined to feel like this was a situation the two of you went through together than you guys were just separately coming out of different heartbreaks. But obviously that could be the case for some of you as well. But I feel like this is saying, for whatever reason, there seemed to have been some heartbreak between the two of you, and with this body language here, right, we see their back is turned to the cards on this side. I feel like this is them kind of digging their feet in. So, obviously, it looks like you guys were in a bit of a stalemate in the past. Alright, present position on your side, we have the King of Arrows, which is Aquarius energy, and Justice, which is Libra energy. So here I'm picking up on a similar energy where now we see his back turned, right? Similar to what we saw with the card on their side in the past. And now we see Justice underneath that. So I feel like this is saying you're still probably not ready and willing to talk about the issue yet. But underneath it all, I feel like you do want to see balance restored within the connection, Now, for some of you, this thought might have started to come to you after we had that full moon in Aquarius that we just had a couple days ago. There's actually going to be another one toward the very end of Leo season, so that's kind of a rare thing to have two full moons in the same time, but maybe that'll shift your perspective even a little more at that point. But yeah, it's kind of what I'm seeing there. It looks like, especially because we see he's holding those flowers, right? So I feel like it's saying that there is that desire to restore the balance in the connection, but for the majority of you, I feel like it's not happening yet. I feel like you're still a little bit at that point where you're just, maybe you're wanting them to come in and restore the balance, and that could be why you're in that position. But underneath it all, I do feel like there's still love there. All right, present energy on their side, we have the Nine of Cups, or Nine of Chalices as it's called in this deck, and the Queen of Swords. So this is Libra energy here. So interesting, you guys both have Libra energy underneath the initial card, which again, to me, like I said, feels like that desire to restore balance. For some of you, this could even be someone you're living with too, given that for you guys, Libra energy is your fourth house. But seeing that Nine of Cups here in this deck in particular, obviously we see the two people, it looks like they're communicating, right? But if we think about traditional tarot, it's the guy with his arms crossed, right, looking pretty pleased with himself. So in a way, I'm picking up on that same type of energy we see here, where you guys both want the balance to be restored, but at the same time, kind of digging your feet in. And this reminds me that your general reading for this month, I gave it the title Talk It Out, and it had a similar energy where it felt like, two sides just needed to communicate with each other to get things back on track. So you might, if this sounds like your story, you might want to check that reading out too for some additional info there. All right, future energy on your side, we have the Princess of Coins. So this is the Page of Pentacles. And I'm getting a similar vibe here, you know. The page usually doesn't have a whole lot of confidence, but there is some sincerity there. And if we look at the trees in the background, it looks like there's not much life to them, right? So I feel like this is saying, you know, holding on to that desire to restore the stability, right? If we think about that Pentacles energy representing the stability, but at the same time, especially again with the body language, back turned to the cards on the side, not necessarily expressing it. So that's what I'm seeing there. And future energy on their side, we have the Knave of Swords. So this is the equivalent to the Page of Swords. So for a lot of you, I do feel like they're probably going to be the ones more likely to communicate. But with this energy too, I mean, if we look at his facial expression, right, he looks pretty intimidated. So there's no guarantee that they're going to be communicating. I feel like this is probably going to resolve itself at some point, but I'm just being honest, I'm not sure if I'm seeing that happening this month. So that's just what I'm seeing, but we'll see what the Oracle cards add to the mix. Bottom of the deck on your side, we have the Prince of Staves. So this is actually Sagittarius energy here. And again, what stands out, we see his back turned to the cards on that side. But this does represent taking action. So for some of you, you might actually come forward and try to resolve the issue. Like I said, it does feel like there genuinely is love there, but it seems like both sides are really dug in right now and not really budging. All right, and bottom of the deck on their side, we have Temperance. So this is also Sagittarius energy, and in traditional tarot, you know, we think of that representing balance, right? Here we see it looks like they're mixing something up. So for some of you, they might even just ask you to come out for drinks to talk things over, right? But it looks like, again, there is a desire to restore balance on their side. Like I said, it looks like deep down you probably have that as well, but I do have to say if either side's going to be taking the action, which I'm not sure I'm seeing this month, like I said, it does seem more likely would be them. And interestingly enough, beneath that too, we have the Judgment card. So yeah, for the majority of you, I feel like this is something that's going to come back up at some point, even if it's not this month, maybe next month when we, in September when we have the Mercury retrograde in Libra, but that's what I'm seeing there. All right, we'll see what the Oracle cards add to the mix. First, we'll see if we get anything from Aqua Moonlight deck here. I did pre-shuffle this deck, and I'm just looking for jumpers here. So I'll be looking for unscripted messages from you to them, and then from them to you. And if I shuffle for a while without anything coming up, I'll just move on to the next deck. But occasionally we get extra messages here. So we'll see if we get anything. All right, that doesn't want to go back in, and then we'll see if we get anything from them to you. All right, and got one there. So let's see. On your side, we have thoughts. There we go. It says, I've been in my head about you constantly. So yeah, I mean, I could certainly see that being the case. Like I said, it looks like there's definitely a lot of thought around it, especially with that King of Arrows energy. But again, like I said, it feels like you're not ready to budge regarding talking through what the issue is at this time. And on their side, we have gesture. It says, I'm going to come sweep you away. So yeah, if nothing else, like I said, I'm not sure I see a grand gesture energy here. It's at least not for this month, but this does tend to align with what I was feeling there as far as, like I said, it looks like they're going to be the ones more likely to come forward to try to restore the balance. But like I said, at least as of right now, it looks like both sides are pretty dug in and not budging. So that's what I see there. All right, lastly, we'll pull a card from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. And same situation as far as I pre-shuffled this one as well, but we're just looking for, oh, already got it. All right, that was easy enough. Okay. But yeah, I was going to say we're just going to pull one card with general advice, and came up pretty quick. So you guys got No Place Like Home There's the artwork, and the number is 50. So yeah, this, again, just seeing that makes me think that for a lot of you, this probably is a more serious connection, possibly with the two of you living together, but we'll see. Okay, it says authenticity, coming home to yourself, feeling at home, arriving at a place where you just fit, being comfortable in your own skin. The Oracle's message: home feels safe and secure. It's a comfortable place to rest and create, a place that is known and you can call yours. This card signals that your ability to trust yourself and feel at home in your own skin is beginning to solidify as you claim your dignity and integrity, aspects of yourself no one can take away from you. You know who you are. You hold your head high, yet neither with pride nor humility. Instead, you stand as the observer, seeing through the eyes of your soul. This puts you in a position of power and strength. Authenticity is your home. You are safe here, in house of your spirit and spirit. All right. So, pretty positive message there. The part about with neither pride nor humility, like I said, it looks like right now you guys kind of both are dug in a little bit, but eventually you guys will get out of energy. But hopefully that resonated. All right. And the relationship message says lovers, friends, and companion animals are at home in your life right now. You are in sync and full of love, and you can be secure in the knowledge that it is reciprocated. Relationships elicit a sense of emotional safety, comfort, and the best aspects of familiarity now. Be home in this relationship. Together you add to the love of the world. So again, like I said, pretty positive message there. And as I was saying, as we were going through the main spread, I do feel like there generally is love there, but the two of you just kind of aren't willing to budge and talk things out just yet. I'll read the protection message too, just in case that resonates with some of you, since, like we said, the energy is a little tricky right now anyway. It says there are times when says there are times when what is familiar and known is not the best choice. Human beings are memory-driven creatures, and we all look for certainty for what we know, even in the qualities we see in other people and in external conditions are expressed in unhealthy ways. Let me read that sentence again because that didn't sound right. Take two. It says human beings are memory-driven creatures, and we all look for certainty for what we know, even if the qualities we seek in other people and in external conditions are expressed in unhealthy ways. Avoid being too eager to find home. Choose something unfamiliar and trust that there you will find a new normal that supports your spirit. Remember, if you do what you did, you'll get what you got. Do the opposite of what feels right, even if it's uncomfortable, because what feels right is really what's familiar, and you will attract and be drawn to the very things you don't want anymore. This time will not be different unless you do something different. So, pretty positive message there, especially if this is a repeat pattern that you guys might tend to go through, right? Where maybe there's some emotions building up beneath the surface, but you don't express them, and then you guys kind of both dig your feet in, and nothing really gets talked out. So, for those of you, if that's the case and that's what you're experiencing, hopefully that message resonated with you. And also, like I said, if this sounds like your story, definitely check out the general reading for this month too, because I feel like it's going to give you some additional insight there also. All right, so we'll wrap up there, guys, and I'll see you all next month. Bye.